Hello everyone, welcome back to another 2v2 Warhammer battle. This is going to be the Wood Elves and Norska versus Bretonia and Chaos. For my army, you can see we have two dragons. One of them is going to be a male Glade Lord, the other one is just a normal forest dragon. The infantry, we have two War Dancers, one on each flank, two Dryads, one kind of in the middle. Then we have the Winterheart Guard and a normal Eternal Guard? Yeah, Eternal Guard. Forgot the name for a moment. Behind them, you have three Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts, then another War Dancer over here with the Azrael Spear, the Renowned unit, the Loix Tricksters, and then a normal War Dancer with Spear over here on that flank as well. And then also a Branch Wraith over here with the Heal Spell and Awakening of the Wood. Then for my Norscan ally, we have two Frostworms, Throg, four of the Norscan Ice Trolls, and then four Marauder Horsemasters. Yeah, four Marauder, that's their army. For the Bretonians, we have the four Bretonian Spearmen at Arms, two on each flank, and then two Battle Pilgrims being led by a Paladin. Off to the side here, we have three Knights of the Realm. The leader of the army is King Luic Leon Kerr with some of the Royal Hippogriff Knights, which you don't see too often, and then a group of Pegasus Knights. Then for Chaos, they are being led by Kolek. The front line here, we have a Chosen with great weapons, three Chaos Warriors, three Chaos Marauders, two Chaos Knights with Lances, Manticore, and I think that's it. Oh, and an Armored Troll. Whew, alright, and that's the army. So looking at the Chaos composition, they are very slow. So you can see that I started, I think, like right here-ish. And I'm just going to go bloop, 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 and that's where we're going to be going. Because that's where my ally is, that's where they're going, so like we can probably hit and destroy this Bretonian infantry before the Chaos forces even get over there, because they are so far over here. Meanwhile, my Glade Lord is going to start harassing these Royal Hippogriff Knights, because they do not have regeneration like King Lewin does, and I was like, I'm not going to get too much damage in, I don't think, here, so I didn't want to spend that on King Lewin, he would just regenerate through it before the battle even starts, so I'm going to try to hit him with the Royal Hippogriff Knights, because you can see that they don't have any casters, so there's no healing that's going to be put on those Hippogriffs, sorry, not hippos. War Dancer is going to get over here first because they are very quick, so we're just going to throw them in here. Other War Dancer with the sword is going to go over here, and then our Dryads, I believe, are going to go up the middle. I'm actually going to detach the Eternal Guard, the Winterheart Guard, and this other Loix Tricksters, and they're going to form lines over here, and my Glade Guard are going to kind of sit in this pocket over here. That's what they're going to be doing. The Hippogriff Knights started to chase off my Glade Lords, so I chased them off with these Eternal Guard, or Glade Guard. God, I'm forgetting all the Wood Elf names. And they're going to fall back, and now we're going to pour fire into the Chaos Knights, who are obviously trying to look for a way into this pocket. So we're just going to kind of shadow them here with the Eternal Guard, almost catch them, but they are going to pull out, and they're eventually going to take a path way over here and then come up through the forest. Meanwhile, King Lewin Leon Kerr, the Hippogriff Knights, the Pegasus Knights, the Manticore, they're all going to be coming down here, and this, I think I'm just going to have the camera angle like this, because this is going to be a battle for most of the rest of the match. So it's just going to be Throg, all of his trolls, and his two Frostworms are just going to be in here. Meanwhile, my ally is going to just be micromanaging the Marauder Horsemasters to try and get away from these Knights of the Realm. I'm going to support them. You can see already here with the Forest Dragon. I'm sitting my Glade Lord. I have a War Dancer with Spear and a Dryad over here to try and clean up this very mobile Cav for the Bretonians. Do what we can, because if the Cav is gone, that leaves the Horsemasters free to do whatever they want, and that leaves me free to do mostly whatever I want. So we definitely want to keep them protected, because if these are gone, then that means these Knights of the Realm are going right in my back, and they're going to be able to get my Glade Guard, who, at this time, firing into King Lewin Leon Kerr and his Royal Hippogriff Knights. You can see that my War Dancer initially did really well against the Bretonian Spearmen. Of course they would. But against all this, the Pegasus Knights, the Armored Trolls, King Lewin, and everything else, they are eventually going to succumb to the wounds and run away. We threw our second War Dancer into this pack, as well as our Dryad, and we also have the Loix Tricksters in here as well. Now you can see the Chaos is finally starting to get there. The Marauders are going in first because they are faster than the normal Chaos Warriors, so we're going to hold them off here with the Eternal Guard, and then the Winterheart Guard is going to kind of take this flank over here. Meanwhile, over here, I saw that there's Chaos Forces going through the forest, so we're going to put our Glade Lord on there to try and stop them. I want to fight them in the forest because they suffer a severe penalty in there. I'm going to try and buy time for our Dryads to go over here. They were the ones that's assisting against the Knights of the Realm over there. So they went bloop. And we're trying to pin them down because obviously they want to go after my Glade Guard. But they are going to force their way through. We're going to chase them with the Glade Lord. Kolek forces his way through my Eternal Guard. So these get into a Glade Guard. I'm going to be forced to withdraw here. And then we're going to... These guys are just going to rout after this. Meanwhile, back here, my ally is still trying to deal with the three Knights of the Realm, doing what they can to do a lot of damage while also taking a lot of damage. And again, this is just going to be a battle for like most of the fight. Just everything is getting poured in here, and just a giant mob. I wish I brought Dwellers Below and just crushed like everyone's army right there, because that would have been so beautiful. But I did not, because I don't know. I want to try and stay away from that spell. I think it's too good. But anyway, Kolek Suneater is now preoccupied with our Dryads. I got my Forest Dragon on him. Meanwhile, the Glade Lord is going to come over here and try and stop these Chaos Warriors along with the Dryads. But now we also have a Manticore now coming, which detaches itself from this little fight. So now that's coming over here. So we're going to detach our Forest Dragon from assaulting Kolek to trying to stop this Manticore. Meanwhile, my ally again is just micromanaging pretty well their Horse Masters away from the Knights of the Realm. There's not much to micromanage here. It's just a giant, like a fist fight basically. But you can see that my allies doing a lot of good damage to King Lewin. They already killed the Hippogriff Knights for the most part and did a lot of damage to the Pegasus Knights, you can see right there. Meanwhile, over here, my Branch Wraith has been holding off an entire Chaos Warrior basically by themselves, which is I'm fine with. Winterheart Guard obviously are not going to break at all because they're unbreakable, and right now we're still trying to kill Kolek, as you can see there. My Forest Dragon is still following the Manticore, but we're going to stop there, pull them back because we need all the help we can get over here. Because as you can see, these Dryads are breaking, this Branch Wraith is breaking, and these Dryads are going to be close behind, especially now since they're going to get hit from these Marauders over there. Still trying to take out Kolek. If we can break the leadership, then we can do a lot of good, well, leadership damage to the Forces of Chaos, and hopefully get some kind of chain route, so that's what I'm trying to do there. Meanwhile, over here, you can see that the Knights of the Realm, we have just below half here. These ones are almost dead. These, actually, are these the Chaos Knights? Because I think one of those is still around. No, these are also Knights of the Realm. So yeah, my allies done a lot of good damage to the Knights of the Realm, just kind of kiting them around the map back here, and thank goodness they're not taking the Knights of the Realm going over here because I have all these Chaos Forces. So the Manticore is coming back. The Chaos Warriors finally broke through those Dryads, so they are now into our Glade Guard, and also the, yeah, there we go. The Chaos Trolls that were in this giant fight down here detached and also came over here to try and stop my Glade Guard. So now I have my Glade Lord and Forest Dragon stopping these two forces. These Dryads are about to break against these Chaos Warriors. My Winterheart Guard is luckily, you know, unbreakable, so they are holding as best they can, trying to just be a wall between my Glade Guard and these Chaos Marauders. Chaos Knights come back from routing. They're trying to force their way through here, so I'm going to send a salvo their way. I'm going to reroute them because I can't afford them to get into my Glade Guard. And you can see that we did route Kolek, but he is going to come back into the fight soon. But I'm mostly preoccupied now with just trying to keep these Trolls off, these Chaos Warriors off, trying to keep them pinned down with our Forest Dragon. I'm now healing, I think, my Glade Lord. Yes, I popped the Glade Lord's potion. I thought the Branch Wraith would come back, but I don't think the Branch Wraith ever does. I figured that they would. I was like, I knew they were going to route to that group of Chaos Warriors, but I needed them to hold them back. And I was like, you know what, they'll route, they'll come back, and we'll just start healing up. But I don't believe she ever comes back. I'm like, well, Branch Wraith, why? Meanwhile, back here, this fight is still going on. Throg has almost completely killed King Lewin and the Paladin, and things are looking pretty good for my ally here. The Trolls have taken heavy damage, but they do have regeneration. Froststorm coming back from routing. The other one maybe dead? I'm not entirely sure, I'll be honest with you. Kolek now coming back into the fight, so we're going to try and send a few more salvos of Glade Guard fire his way. You see that we have temporarily routed these Armored Trolls, and we have routed these Chaos Warriors with our double Forest Dragons over here that are keeping our Glade Guard safe. Meanwhile, back here, my allies still trying to do what they can against the Bretonnians' Cav and Air Cav, which is, hey, it's keeping them off my back. Over here with the Froststorm re-engaging with King Lewin the Yonkur. And now Kolek is manually pulled himself away from the line, away from my Glade Guard, so I'm just going to pull up the Glade Lord and just start firing into him. And there we go. So we sniped him with the Glade Lord, and now we can use the Glade Lord to once again start going into this Chaos Infantry, which is still alive. But you can see that how much their leadership is kind of broken since their leader just died, and it's fresh in their mind. So now we're going to take opportunity and just kind of fly right in there, get our Fear and Terror mixed in with all these Marauders and Chaos Warriors, and that is going to finish them and do a chain break, and then it goes into a chain route? Yeah, chain route. I get those words mixed up because there's breaking, then there's routing, and anyway. And that's going to lead to a whole army chain route. Good game to El Zup, Bope, and Minsei. For kills here, a ton of kills for the Glade Lord, over 100, which is pretty good. The War Dancers over 100 kills there, over 100 kills there. These Loix Tricksters did not fare too well. They got caught up in that giant melee with all the trolls, King Lewin, and all of that, and they were just, they were kind of crushed. But most everything else did pretty good. Glade Lords, or sorry, Glade Guard. God, a lot of their names are so similar, and I get them mixed up all the time. Did pretty good, sniping Kolek and, you know, various units. And I had to be on top of my micro to continuously stop everything that they were throwing on my Glade Guard. You know, Kolek, Chaos Knights, Chaos Warriors, Chaos Marauders, Trolls, Pharaoh Manticore. Like the The Chaos player, luckily the Bretonnian player did not try and assault my Glade Guard with those Knights of the Realm, and they were too focused with my allies' Horse Masters, which also did really good. So the army composition here worked. I was a little iffy, because just a bunch of trolls and then Throg, and they just kind of thrown into the meat grinder against the Bretonnians, but they worked. And it freed the player up to be able to micromanage these, because once all these are in melee combat, there's really not much you got to do to micro. They're just gonna sit there and duke it out. And I think they microed the Horsemasters really well. Managed to outmaneuver most of the Knights of the Realm and do a lot of damage. It kept them all preoccupied, so I didn't have to worry about them, so that was pretty good. And then for the Chaos player here, you saw what happened to their Knights. We tried to focus them down pretty quick. The Chaos Warriors did do fare pretty well against the front line that I was able to send against them. Same thing with the Marauders and Kolek, but luckily enough, we were able to stop them. So I hope you enjoyed the battle with a non-conventional army, I would say, from Norska. And I was trying to do non-conventional, at least non-conventional for me, and that is using 2 Forest Dragons, which is a unit that I almost never use, because they're just... Dragons are very expensive, and they are no mammoths, man. They are very squishy for how much they cost. They can dish out a lot of damage, and this one does have poison, which is very nice as well. But if you land them in the wrong area, they just can get crushed so fast. So I had to be very careful where I landed them. That's why I had them going after like a single unit of Chaos Warriors, or support them against a single unit of like Chaos Knights. Because these are not tanks. Dragons are not tanks at all. They're a little more difficult. Anyway, let's go watch a cinematic view of the battle.
At once!
Blade Lord's about to go say hello.
As you say, I will comply. Don't be a fool. Get back in the fight.
Yeah, they felt that.
Heed Athelloran! This instant!
As you command!
Immediately!
The rear! Straight away! To battle! No honor!
Advancing! With haste! Head speed!
Clash of Titans going on over here with us like little puny mortals stuck between. Yeah, these little Strictors, man, they just get murdered. A lot of dragons on the field this day.
Weapons!
The
Loose!
forest core!
Withdraw!
At speed!
Tireless! Faster! At speed!
For Isha!
Faster!
See them retreat! Array attack!
We are tireless! Orders understood.
At the Lauren!
With haste!
Onward!
Swiftly!
Pull back!
At once! To the fray! The eye of
I think I have at least like one Winterheart guard left. Well, maybe not. Maybe they're all dead at this point.
Onward! I go!
You did good, Winterhearts.
At speed!
Elinor! Faster!
Heed Athel Lauren!
To the fray!
And there we go. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. I will see you all next time. Take care.